Hi all, today we'll see how to create a simple data entry form in a visual builder. So this will create a form where you can enter some details. These details will be saved in the business object which we have created once you click on the save button in the form. So let's start. First, click on this new application, provide the application name. So here the application name I am giving it as registration form, and in the application template I am selecting it as Oracle SAS R13 light theme for VBCS. Generally in all the organizations this will be the theme we'll be using when you are integrating your VBCS application with SAS application. So select this application and click on select, and once the application template got selected, click on finish button. This will create you the web application. So once the application got created, first we'll go to the root page. As you see, when the application got created, it has created with some default layout. This is the default layout which you will get once the application got created. So we want to remove this default layout. So to remove this default layout, go to root pages, click on shell, go to page designer, go to code. Now first we'll remove the footer part from here. So just remove the footer part, and then we'll remove the header part. So just select the header part and delete. So this will remove you the default layout that has been created. Now you can see only the page with no default layout and which has only some text. So now this text is also has a default page which Oracle has provided. So we'll remove this page as well in the next step. Now our next step is to create the business object. Here the business object is nothing but the table. So if you create any form, we need a table, right, to store the data. So similarly here we are creating a business object. So to create a business object, click on this business object, and then it will ask you to create a new. So you can click plus button here. As I don't have any business object now, it is showing the plus button here. So if you have already any business object, it will not show this plus button for you. In that case, you need to click on this plus button here. So if you put an icon on the plus button, it is just showing it as a create. So click on that create. You want to create a business object, so click on business object and provide the name of the business object. Here I am taking it as a registration table, and then click on create. So whatever the name you want to provide, you can provide that particular name and then click on create. This will create you the business object. So you can see the business object name here, and this is a overview page, and this is a fields page, and this is a security page. So if you want only this particular role based people want to access this business object, you can restrict it, and if you want to add some any of the roles, you can do it. And this is the endpoints that has been created over the business object. You have get, post, get one, update, delete, and if you have any data in the business object, that will be shown here. So let's go to the fields first and then create some fields in this business object. Oracle will automatically create some default fields here. So these default fields are nothing but here ID. So this ID is a auto populated ID. Whenever a new record got created, an ID will be generated automatically. And these are the who columns, like who has created by, when it was created, when it was last updated, and who updated it. So these are all the default columns you will get from the Oracle. Now we'll create our own columns. So here I am creating some columns. So first column I am creating it as first name. I'm creating it as first name. Has the name is a string. I'm just selecting it as a string and click on create field. If you see here, the first name got created. And next I'm creating it as last name. So it is a text field. So I'm just selecting the text and click on create. So last name field got created. And next I'm creating the date of birth. Date of birth. So here I'm taking it as date field and click on create field. Now we'll create a next column as mobile number, and I'm taking it as number data type. And next we'll create as email address, let it be the text field only, or else you have a email type as an email, you can use that. And even for the mobile number also, you have the mobile number as a type, so let's use it. So click on create field mobile number, so you can use this mobile number field for it. And next, that's it, I guess. First name, last name. Okay, that's fine. So these are all the fields we have created. So if you want to do some, like if you want to make the field as required, or if you want to make this field as an indexable, or if you want to make this field as an unique, you can make all the constraints here, so that it will not allow you to enter the duplicate IDs. So I'm making mobile number as my unique identifier and as a required field. Business object got created. Now we need to create a form to enter the data into this business object. To do this, we need to create a front-end form. That is nothing but a VBCS form where you will be able to enter the data. So to do this, go to the web application, go to the main. Now click on this plus button to create a new page. So name your page. So here I am naming my page as registration form. Registration form. Click on create. So this will create you the blank page. Now click on main again, go to settings. Here if you see, the default page is tagged to main start, so we want to change it to the registration form as our default page. So from the drop down list, select registration form. So now your default page will be the registration form. So now we'll start creating the front end form for it. Before creating the form, we need to do one more thing here. So the first thing is, we need to create the type. Go to types, click on from endpoint to create a type from an endpoint. select your endpoint. Here our endpoint is the business object which you have created. So just down the things, and here we want to post the data into the business object. That is, we want to save. Whenever you hit on the save button, the data should be saved into the business object. So for that we need to use a post operation. So we'll select the post operation here and then click on next. So select what are all the fields you wanted to get posted or saved. So I'm selecting here first name, last name, date of birth, email address, and mobile number, and remaining columns like ID, last name, last updated date, creation by created date will be updated automatically by the system. No need to enter anything for them. So just click on finish. So this will create you a type with this endpoint. So just I'm changing the name here as PT. Here PT is nothing but the page type reg form. I'm just giving it as page type for registration form. Now with this type we need to create a variable. So to create a variable, click on variables, click on variables. The variable I am giving it as PV underscore. You can give it any of the name ever wish. Here PV is nothing but page variable. I am giving registration form. Here the type you need to select as array data provider. We'll discuss why we have taken here it as array data provider in our next classes. So I'm just mentioning here it as ADP for just for a reference. So just click on create. So this will create you a variable with the object which you have created in the earlier screen. So now go to the type and select the type which you have created in the earlier screen, and just select from the key attributes, select index. We'll discuss this later in our array data provider classes. Okay. Now we need to create the page variables for all the fields which we are having in the page. So let's create them one by one. First I'm creating it as first name is a string, so it will not allow any spaces. So click on create. Next I'm creating last name. Next we'll create date of birth. That also I'm taking it as string. Next I'm taking it as mobile number. Let the mobile number be number data type. Create new, and next is the email. So this will be the string create. So you can see here first name, last name, date of birth, email address, and mobile number. These are all the page variables which we have created. So we'll assign these page variables to the front end form where we have created. Now to create the front end form, go to the page designer, and first we need to drop a input text. So search for input text. You'll see the input text here, right? So just drag it to the right side. Let's do it in the designer mode. It's until here. And let's provide this thing as first name, and label text as first name, and label hint as enter first name, enter first name. Now we'll drag the next. This we'll say it as last name, and let's label be last name, and label hint will be the enter last name. Now we'll map the page variables which we have created in the data, in the function. You can see first name, right? First name, we'll assign that. For the last name, we'll assign the last name, and similarly we'll create the remaining fields. So I have created the remaining columns, and I have mapped to the particular data variable mobile number. I have mapped to the mobile number. Email address, I have mapped to the email address. Date of birth, I have mapped to the date of birth. Now we need to create a submit button to submit this data. So now search for the button from the components. For this button, I'm giving the name as save to save the data. Now here we have a important thing which we need to notice, right? Whenever you hit on save, then the data should be saved into the business object which you have created. So now you want to link your form and your business object. Here the business object is nothing but the table. So the linking will happen on the save button. So select the save button, go to events, a new events, click on OJ actions. Now first we'll assign the data which we got from the page variables to the array data provider which we have created on the save action. So to do this, we need to drag a component called assign variables. So drag the assign variables component to here and click on assign. Now if you see the left side, this is your source, and the right side which you are seeing is your target. Now our motive is to map the data from page variables to the array data provider. So our source will be first name, last name, email, mobile number, date of birth on the source page should be mapped to the array data provider on the target page. So let's do this. So here you can see PV requisition ADP, which is array data provider which we have created. So map the things accordingly. So I'm mapping the date of birth to date of birth, email address to email address, first name to first name, last name to last name, mobile number to mobile number. So once this is done, click on save. So this will assign the values which you have entered in the page will be got assigned to the array data provider variable which you have created. Now we need to post the data from array data provider to our business object which you have created. So to do that, now we need to call one more component here, that is call rest. So select this call rest and drag it to the plus. So this will assign you the call rest. Here you need to select the endpoint. As you know, our endpoint is our business object. From the business object drop down list, select the business object with the post method. Now we need to assign the data to the business object. So to do this, here go to body, click on the body. As we seen earlier, our left side would be the source and right side would be the target. Here now our source is the array data provider and our target is the business object, that is the REST API which we are calling. So from here we'll map to the body. That's it. Now whenever you get a success, like whenever the data got loaded successfully, then we'll inform that data got loaded successfully. So to do that, we'll just fire a notification, just drag and drop the notification and just we'll give the notification summary as confirmation, and in the message I'm giving it as data saved. Saved successfully. Data saved successfully, and the notification type I'm giving it as confirmation. So once this is done, just run the application and see whether you are able to save your data from the front end. To do this, click on preview button. So this will preview your application. Now enter the first name. So I'm entering my first name as Vishwanath, last name as Tigari. Mobile number I'm entering as email address. I'm entering the email address. For example, if you see, if I only enter ABC, then I went. So it is saying the format is incorrect. So it is expecting the email address format. So let's enter @gmail.com. And now select the date of birth. So I'm selecting some date of birth from this and then click on save. So you got a confirmation message saying data got saved. Now go to the business object and check in the data. So you will able to see your data. Whatever we have entered there, you are able to see it in the backend. This is a simple form where you have been created to enter the data, and the data which you have entered in the form has been saved into the business object. Here we'll add one more feature. Whenever you click on save button here, will show some progress bar saying that some progress is happening. So to do that, we need to add a dialog box. So for that, from the component list, select dialog and drag and drop to anywhere on the page. The dialog box has been dropped. So now just click on show so that the dialog box will be shown. So now I'm making the dialog box title as please wait. So you see the dialog box name got changed. Now I'm dragging a drop one paragraph field here to just add some text. So here I'm saying that data getting saved please wait. You can see this, and I don't require this button and all, we'll remove it. Now I just want to show some progress bar here, that some progress is happening. So for that we'll select the progress bar and drag and drop the progress bar here. So now go to the data and provide value as 100, maximum as 100, value as -1. So you see, if you go on live, you can see some animation happening there. And let's remove this button, and let's remove this button component as well. And this progress bar will not support in the basic theme, so I'm just shifting my theme to other thing. So to change your theme, go to web apps, settings. In the theme, I'm selecting as redwood stable. Now of this overridden, select the save button, go to events, click on this button action chain, and add the wait screen to your action chain. So to do this, we need to use the component called call component. So select the call component and drag after start before assigning the variables, and from the in the components, from the drop down list, select please wait, whichever the component dialog box which you have created, and in the method name select as open. Drag it after your success and select same please wait and close the component. And similar way, when it errored out, do the same thing. We'll just do the testing. So enter some name, just entering as Mahesh Kumar, phone number, and enter email ID. So said click on save. You can see the dialog box is coming, it is getting saved. So this is how we can create a simple form in the VBCS. Thank you.